half of Americans right now are dealing with credit card debt, and that's according to a survey by Bankrate.com.
Yeah, and getting out of credit card debt can be a struggle. You know, each month the balance gets higher thanks to, of course, interest.
And everything just costs more now, so it feels like it adds up even quicker. And it can really sometimes feel like just that endless cycle, like it's never going to end, but we got you covered. We've got an expert here, Kevin Brasler, Executive Director of Chicago Consumer Checkbook. Thanks for joining us.
Hey, good to see you again.
Great to have you. This is a big talker all the time. I mean, especially as we just have everything costing more, so you've got more on those cards, emergencies pop up. You have some ideas on how to get some good help and guidance on paying down your debt.
Yeah, to a lot of people, credit card debt seems insurmountable. I mean, you know, the average person who owes credit card debt owes nearly $11,000 now, and a lot of people, they only make the minimum payment each month. And if you only make the minimum payment on your credit cards at today's interest rates, most people who are in debt, they're not going to pay off that debt for 25, 30 years. If you have a really high interest rate credit card, you're just never going to pay it off. I mean, you won't pay it off before you die. I know it seems insurmountable to pay back this debt, especially if you have 20, even $100,000 worth of credit card debt. We've talked to some people who had that kind of debt. They were able to pay it back by being disciplined and by making a plan, by not taking on new debt and then strategically paying back what they did owe. The best resource out there if you have debt is to go to a nonprofit credit counselor. You can find one by going, there's a national group called the National Foundation for Credit Counseling. They can help you find a nonprofit counselor in your area, and what they can do is they basically help you develop a plan. They have agreements in place with credit card companies to reduce the interest you owe, and so instead of getting charged 25, 30% interest on your debt, you might only get charged 5 or 10%. So long as you stick with their plan, so long as you continue to pay down as you agree each month, and have that credit counselor basically organize your debt for you and handle the payments for you. You're paying the credit counselor, and then they pay back your debt the most optimal way.
Yeah, it can seem so overwhelming at the outset when you're facing
it absolutely is.
So big.
Yeah.
What other resources? I know you mentioned these nonprofit credit counselors. How do you spot the difference between somebody who might be asking you for a payment versus somebody who's working for a nonprofit?
Yeah, there's lots of companies out there that say they can help you. There are for-profit kind of debt settlement companies, consolidation companies. They often claim that they have these special arrangements with the credit card companies and other creditors to forgive your debt. It doesn't work, is what I'm telling you. That these companies often, their clients end up with more debt than when they started, and with lower credit scores than when they started, because these companies typically charge high fees. And then one strategy they often have for their clients is they say, well, stop making your payments altogether. We're going to take care of this for you. In the meantime, don't make payments. And then months later, they found that not only have they defaulted on their credit card payments, but they've gotten hit with additional late fees. The nonprofit credit counselors genuinely do have relationships with the credit card companies. So long as you develop a program, a repayment program, and stick with it, you'll see lower interest rates. You'll get late fees forgiven, things like that. It actually is a strategy that works. We talked to a few people who had used these counselors, and it changed their lives. I mean, they went from being just overwhelmed by debt and feeling like, one said he used to dream at night that a rich uncle had died and left him a bunch of money, and that way he could pay off his debt. And then he woke up, but he doesn't have a rich uncle. I mean,
that's not.
But
happening.
he, and the other person we spoke to was somewhat, cynical. She didn't think this would work, but she thought it was worth a shot. And then, a year later, actually checked her statements and saw that she'd already paid off one credit card company, and her debts had gone way down. And it took a few years, but she was able to get out from under this mountain of debt.
Kevin, we ran out of time. I do want to ask: these nonprofit credit counselors, is it a charge typically, or?
Right, they do charge for their services, but it's a small fee. And if anyone asks you to pay up front for debt settlement or debt forgiveness, it's a red flag. Under federal law, that's illegal. They can't charge you upfront fees. But they are going to charge you for your time. But it's a modest payment. And given that they can get your interest rates lower and put you on a program, and they're there to work for you. You're their clients. They're not working for the banks. And that's the important thing.
It's good to have an advocate on your side.
Exactly that.
Kevin Brasler, Executive Director, Chicago Consumers Checkbook. We appreciate you coming into studio and sharing some helpful information.